A very good evening to all of you here, my beloved children. Dr. Hari Gopalan, in fact, has covered most of what I wanted to say, but still I have some more. You can see the number of pages of notes I have, but I won't take too long. Dr. Tangaprakash, the correspondent, Dr. George Arvind, Abhisha was a lawyer who's said so much about me, much beyond the brief biodata I had given her. Godson, a good friend of ours, a lawyer in the High Court. The other faculty members, staff, and my dear children. In fact, this is a great opportunity for me to address a gathering of this nature. As Dr. Hari Gopalan had said, I've been lecturing in a number of colleges, in conferences, national, international, but this is something which I really love. My heart goes out to you, because you are the future of this nation, future of this planet, so to say. I can see the glow and the glimmer in your eyes, even though at this time of the day there is no sunbeam. But in all of you, you have that ray of hope to achieve and to succeed. It has already been said that success is not measured in terms of money or the posts that you can hold. Success is, not only in my words, but in the words of many learned people, to be a good citizen is what is success. In fact, Justice Felix Frankfurter of the US Supreme Court had said, there is no post better or higher than being a good citizen. He had already said, Dr. Hari Gopalan, the Honorary Chairman, he has so many things where he had told you not to get distracted, have focus in what you're doing. And in fact, I'm really proud and privileged to have inaugurated the Junior Red Cross. And he has also told you a few aspects of what is expected of you. And that will spread around the other students, and probably many more can join in. In fact, the biggest investment we can make, it is said that will be in the children of today, because they are going to be the future of tomorrow. As teachers and as parents, we have a very important role. In fact, in my biodata, they must have told you that I've been teaching part-time for about 16 years in the law college, and I still keep lecturing, and teaching is my first love, even now. I keep giving lectures to a number of colleges. Now, as teachers, we know that we're not going to make courses for the horses. Each individual child is very special. It's our duty as parents and as teachers to identify the passion, the interest that the child has, maybe in games, maybe in so many other fields. Try to enhance whatever the child, he or she has, to bloom and to become not only a good citizen of this nation, but of this planet as well. Because this is a very unique opportunity that you got. First of all, to be born in this planet, which is probably one of its kind. We're not sure. In fact, there is this new scientific evidence which seems to say that there are more universes than one. We are just one corner of a galaxy and one part of a Milky Way, and maybe many more are there. But still, you are special. Each and every individual child is very special. So it's the duty of the parent as well as the teachers to bring out the best in the person, the child. Now we always say, in many of my speeches, we say take the road less traveled. Earlier, if you have seen, most people would go into medicine as a profession or as engineers, and lastly, probably as law. In fact, there's a joke saying, if you accidentally happen to walk by the gates to the law college, they'll pull you in and give you an admission. But that's not it now. And you see the lawyer, she has made out a case and she has won it. The way she has done a research on what I've done and what I've probably not done. And whenever some lawyer comes and says, sir, your judgment is a fantastic one, I say it's all your contribution. So in whichever field you are, you should try to excel. It's not the money, it's not the post, as I said, but it is how good you are. Now, we all know, in this country at least, corruption is one of the serious issues which we should debate about. Because corruption, like cancer, can eat the vitals of this nation. And probably it is. So you should keep that in mind in whatever you're doing, in whatever field of life you're in. Make sure that you are good. In fact, you may ask, what can I do as an individual? I used to always say this particular anecdote. There was a person walking on the seashore. There were lots of starfishes. You know starfish? You must have probably seen it or heard about it in your classrooms. Thousands and thousands of them were lying on the sands in the sun, drying out and dying because they have to be in the waters. So this person who was walking on the shores, he had picked up a starfish and he was throwing it one by one. He was picking up the starfish and throwing it into the waters. The man who was walking behind him had asked, what is this you're doing? There are thousands and thousands of starfishes drying out in the shores and dying. What difference does it make by what you're doing? This man didn't answer. He just bent down, picked up one starfish, threw it into the water and said, for this one, it makes a big difference. So we say you need not be a Mahatma Gandhi or a Mother Teresa to do real social service. You can do that in your own small way, like what we did now, the GRC. Now I'm sure that will spread. A lot of people will come to know about it. And that is to do small service. Any small service that you do, like they say, the ocean is made of drops of water. Each one of you can make a big difference. Earlier, we used to say, don't dream. Especially, you're not expected to dream in the classroom when some serious subject is being taught. But now it is said, dream and dream big and chase it too. In fact, if you had heard of this, our former president Abdul Kalam, you must have heard of him, right? APJ Abdul Kalam. He was so good, he was an inspiration to a lot of students. In fact, he said, this you must have heard of, dream is something which doesn't come when you're sleeping, or you don't see it when you're sleeping, but it is something which can keep you awake. Which means when you have a dream, you keep working towards it ceaselessly. Nothing can stop you. We say when you trip and fall, you should know you should be able to rise and walk. When the wind fails, if you are sailing in a sailboat, learn to row. Be compassionate to those poor and the downtrodden. in the darkest corners of this society. And you know what is the biggest gift that you can give somebody? It's a reason for them to smile. So that you should keep in mind. And you must have probably also, the teachers must have told you about the I Have a Dream speech of Martin Luther King Jr. I think one of you mentioned. You should, if you have not heard of it, please read it. Ask your teachers. What he dreamt for America, because in the 1940s, 50s, and even the 60s, probably into the 70s, there was serious segregation of the blacks and the whites, the colored. So he had this speech, which was called as the dream speech. This is how each one of us should dream. Dream for this society, dream for this nation, dream for this planet. Now this global warming is a very serious thing that's going around. Many of these species are being extinct, never to be seen again. In hundreds and thousands, every year, we are losing forests in millions of hectares. Now, what can you do about it? As I said, you can make a difference once you think you can. So these are some of the things which you should keep in mind. As we already said, success is not to be measured in terms of money or the posts that you may hold, but how good you've been in that particular field or profession you are in. You should light small sparklers, we say not only during Diwali, but in your neighborhood, amongst your friends, amongst the community, and in the larger context of the nation. Which means you should make a difference, create a spark that will become a fire. Even this issue regarding global warming has been taken up by youngsters, children. And you see how people have this, politicians of the bigger nations have taken that up very seriously. After one of those, Greta Thunberg, you must have heard about her. Like that, each one of you can take up issues relating to pollution, environment, global warming, and a number of other things. There are many, many aspects which you can think about. But keep yourself updated about the skills. Also, you should learn soft skills, how to be street smart to get your way through this society. It is harsh. We always say life is not a bed of roses. If you have the bed, you have no roses, and if you have the roses, you have no bed. Which means, when you receive these bouquets, it means you seem to have achieved something. So you'll have to probably spend sleepless nights. And scientific knowledge, they say it is doubling every 24 hours. Whatever we have learned from the New Stone Age till now, it doubles in 24 hours. So you'll have to keep up with that pace. They say whether you're a lion or a gazelle, in Africa, the moment you wake up in the morning, when the sun rises, you'll have to start running. The gazelle knows it should run faster than the fastest lion. And the lion knows it should run faster than the slowest gazelle. Otherwise, they die. But this is not a rat race. If it is a rat race, even if you win, you still be a rat. So what you'll have to do is be different, be unique, do something special, not only for yourself, but for the society in general. I don't want to take much more time because one quote of John F. Kennedy, the former president of the United States, during his inaugural speech, he said, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." So I thank the management of this Sunbeam school, the faculty, the parents, and the little children I have before me. Thank you once again for giving me this great opportunity. If you had wanted me to talk for longer, I have lots of things to say, but maybe that's some other time. I wish you all the best in whatever you're doing and in your life ahead. Thank you very much.